I want to introduce you to my cat Riley. He is underneath the plant lights, trying to grow bigger than he already is. Today I'm going to introduce you to series circuits through a short little lab. A series circuit is one in which there is one path for the electrons to follow. So you're going to open up your program and you're going to see that you're having 3 resistors. There is one path for the electrons coming out of the negative side, going through all 3 resistors and back into the battery. So a series circuit is when you have multiple components hooked up in such a way that there's only one path for the electrons to follow. Now our purpose for today's activity is to see how voltage and current are affected in a series circuit. So open up the program like I was showing you a few moments ago. And the first thing you're going to do is fill in your assigned resistance. You're going to use the same resistance I assigned you last time, and I will include it as part of this slideshow so you can find your value. The way you set your resistance is you click on the first resistor. If you want a random resistance, you just click on new resistance. But if you want to set to a certain value, the value you've been assigned, you just click until you get to the colors that you want, and that will be your resistance I assigned to you. If you want to make all the resistors the same, you click Set All to Match, and now all your resistors will have the same value that you set for resistor 1. If at some point you want to remove a resistor, you just click where it says Remove Totally. If you want to put it back in, click where the resistor used to be and say Place New Resistor. Okay, you have 2 meters. One is set to volts, DC. You click on that to measure your voltage. You'll notice the voltage is going to jump around just like on a real meter. What you want to do is just kind of watch it and put down what you see as the average. So it seems to be jumping from maybe 1.1 down to 0.9. So you'd probably put an average of about 1 volt. Okay, this meter will give you your current, and again it will jump around. Try and get your average value. Again, it's set to milliamps, so make sure you are aware of that. Okay, you have a battery box at the bottom. With that, you can change the number of batteries inside. Remember, these are AA batteries, so each one is 1.5 volts. Okay, so put down your assigned resistance. Tell me how many batteries you're going to use in your battery box and tally up your battery voltage. I suggest having at least 3 batteries inside the battery box. Okay, then for part 1, what I'd like you to do is just fill in the voltage of the battery, the resistance values that you're using, and again in part 1 all the resistors are the same. So whatever I assign to you will be the resistance of each of these resistors, R1, R2, and R3. And then measure the current and voltage for each resistor. So the way you measure the current is clicking on that, voltage, click on that. To do the next resistor, just hit Move Meter, measure again, click Move again, measure again. Fill in all your values into these pre-existing spots. For part 2, I want all the resistors different. So go back to your circuit, leave resistor 1, whatever I assign to you. For resistor 2, just randomly generate a new resistor. I'm going to ask you though that you have the same third color that you had for resistor 1. And then go back to full circuit, go in and change this one. Again, you could do it randomly or you could pick your favorite colors. Doesn't matter. Just make sure all 3 resistors are different and then take the same measurements you did before. So that's part 2. For part 3, you're going to do less resistors for each trial. So reset all your resistors to the exact same values that you had originally. So go back in, click on resistor 1, set them all to match. Bring yourself back to the first one. Collect all your data or just use the data you did for part 1. Then remove resistor 3. Take your measurements for the 2 remaining resistors. Fill that data into this one with 2 resistors. And then remove resistor 2 and take your data for just a single resistor. I will then have a form that I will put up online, and you're going to answer the questions that relate to this data that you collected. Hopefully, in answering these questions, you will demonstrate to me that you learned the important features of a series circuit. Good luck. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me for help. I hope you're having a good day, and I hope things went well over the last couple of days.